we don't want to do our job anymore because it costs a little bit more than it used to. So we're just going to not do it anymore. We're going to go elsewhere. I mean, they're a private company. They can do whatever they want. But I don't know. That just felt real sketch to me. All right. We have major giant issues in California. So I want to give you a little history lesson. I actually used to work at State Farm Insurance when I was in college working on my MBA. I worked in a State Farm agent's office, and it wasn't for me. It was a sales job, but I didn't know it, right? I thought I was just going to be handling, like customer service stuff. It's like, just give me a job during the day while I'm working on my MBA at night. That was my thing. And very soon it became hey, Chris, why aren't you selling enough life insurance policies? Hey, Chris, how come you haven't sold any auto policies today? Hey, Chris, how come you haven't sold this or that policy? And I'm looking around like, when was I told this was supposed to be a sales job? Like, I'm just answering phones and trying to help people out during the day. I don't care. I don't care how many sales I make. Not my thing. I'm not a salesman. Deal with it. And I specifically remember we had this, because life insurance is probably the most lucrative thing, right? Because you pay on it for ages and ages and ages, and more than likely you stop paying on it at some point, so they don't have to pay it out, right? I remember we had this competition, and we had a poster board in the back. Like, this is an agent's office. They're all small businesses in the grand scheme of things. But I remember we had this poster board in the back, and it was me, then it was Kadra. So the other people I worked with, there was me, then Kadra, then Joan and Sydney. And like it was like, how many life insurances did you sell each day? And like, I went weeks, I'm telling you, weeks without selling a single thing. And I remember Joan one day, she called me out in like one of our weekly meetings. She's like, Chris hasn't sold anything for 3 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, and it's not my thing. I'm answering phone calls all day, Jones. I'll let you sell all you want. I'm not interested in sleazing myself out to make some sales. I don't know. I've never enjoyed the sales process. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm much more of a, like, let's just hang out and have fun. And if you want to buy it, by all means do it. Like with Outlier, right? I think it's the greatest thing in the world and you should totally buy it. But if you don't, it's no skin off my back because I'm using it every day. I hope you do too. But let's take a look at what State Farm, the company, right? Not an agent's office, but the company is having a major announcement, right? California Insurance Commissioner declares a crisis after major State Farm announcement. In fact, State Farm has moved its headquarters here to Texas. Everybody's moving their headquarters here to Texas. If you aren't moving here to Texas, what are you waiting for? Hurry up. California Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara warned overregulation could push insurance companies like State Farm to abandon the state. Now, I got another story for you. I live in a nice house. Last year, I had the worst experience with Costco insurance. I didn't even know Costco had insurance. I was watching Tesla videos one day, and this person was talking about how they got their insurance from Costco. So I went to Costco's website and filled out all their information. I got my home insurance, my umbrella insurance, and my auto insurance through them. And it wasn't all that much cheaper, maybe $100 in the course of a year versus what I was paying before, but it was all in one place. And I was like, all right, this will be cool. So then, a couple of weeks go by and they sent an inspector out to come and look at my house. And then a couple of weeks later, I get a notice and I was like, hey, you have, this much due for your home insurance. I'm like, well, that's weird. It's like double what they said it was going to be. That was unexpected. So I go online and I'm like, sure enough, yeah, it's literally doubled in price. And so I called them on the phone. I'm like, why is this showing that it's doubled in price? Like, you quote and bound me last week. Why has this gone up? And they were like, well, our inspector came out and decided that you have a high value home. And because you have a high value home, that automatically causes the premium to go up. Now, here's the kicker. Right? They did not change the coverage by 1 red cent. The coverage was exactly the same. Meaning, if my home burned down tomorrow, dear Lord, please don't let that happen. But if it burned down tomorrow, they would have paid exactly the same amount either way. If I had paid, let's say $2,500 versus $5,000 for insurance, right? Either way, they're still going to pay the same amount, but they wanted to charge me twice as much. And I'm like, let me get this straight. Because I have a nice home, and that's the only reason you are levying a nice home tax upon me in reality, because I'm not getting anything, no other benefit to this whatsoever. So I was like, I want you to know something. I am fortunate enough to where I have a YouTube audience. I will deride your company until the end of time. I said, you've made a mistake, because I will make sure anybody who listens to the sound of my voice will know never to buy Costco insurance. So that's my public service warning to you. Don't buy Costco insurance, because it'll make it go up. If you have a nice home, that is. Right. But if you have a shit home, I guess they don't care. But if you have a nice home, they're like, oh yeah, we can charge you more. So yeah. Either way, going back to this, I called up State Farm after that point, and they actually told me, listen, we don't write home insurance for homes of your value. I'm like, whoa, that's a first. So this was in 2023, right? I don't know what's changed now, and I live in Texas, so that was a first. I've never gone to an insurance company and they said, nah, your home's just too fancy. We aren't going to cover it. Okay. That's unexpected. However, State Farm just screwed over the whole second most populous state in America, right? State Farm Insurance, or the California Insurance Commissioner, Ricardo Lara, spoke out after the come on, Chris, you got this. Spoke out after the state's largest home insurance provider announced they would discontinue coverage for tens of thousands of policies this summer. State Farm announced on March 20th they would cut 72,000 home and apartment policies in California because of inflation, regulatory costs, and increasing risks from catastrophes. So basically, they're saying, we don't want to do our job anymore because it costs a little bit more than it used to. So we're just going to not do it anymore. We're going to go elsewhere. I mean, they're a private company. They can do whatever they want. But I don't know. That just felt real sketch to me, right? You know what? It costs far too much to do the job that we were already doing before. So we're just not going to do the job anymore. Yeah, I don't know. The commissioner saying this is a real crisis, right? The commissioner said he wants to investigate State Farm's finances, but warned that regulators can't go too far or else they'll risk pushing companies out of California entirely. Insurance companies are not like utility companies. By law, they don't have to be here. And when we try to overregulate, we'll see what happened. After the Northridge earthquake, when the legislature came in and tried to overregulate, they no longer write earthquake insurance in California. Lara is spearheading effort to enact the largest insurance reform in more than 30 years. He's proposed new regulations intended to change the models that insurance companies use to assess risk from catastrophes like wildfires and earthquakes, which he claims will stabilize premium costs and expand coverage. I'll tell you one thing. I have the privilege to work with lots of financial institutions and do consulting with them. And I talked to one in Louisiana, and they were telling me that the insurance premium, just the insurance cost, is now costing more than the mortgages that they are giving to their customers, right? So if the customer is paying $1,000 a month in mortgage, maybe they're paying $1,200 a month in insurance. And it's just sick, right? The insurance cartel, that's what I call it. The insurance cartel is lots of companies. They actually went to Congress and said, hey, we need a 30% increase in prices. And Congress was like, yeah, whatever you want. Big insurance, we love you guys. Like, please take all the money from customers that you can. So having worked at insurance companies in the past and seeing what they're doing now, it just really, I don't know, gets under my skin. Like they're some of the skeeziest people out there, just in general, skeeziest companies, absolutely. And to see that they're just like up and leaving a state because like the cost of business to do business in that state is higher than it was before. I don't know. It feels like they are doing a disservice to their customers rather than doing the right thing for their shareholders. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments what you think. But let's take a look at MetLife, right? This is another stock. You can't trade State Farm. So let's take a look at MetLife. Maybe with all of these changes with State Farm, maybe this is an opportunity with MetLife. But I will tell you that we did get a sell signal on MetLife today, actually, March 25th. That was not on purpose. That was purely coincidental. A sell signal for MetLife today. And I don't know, maybe that means MetLife as a company is also on their way out of California or other places. And maybe now's the time to get out of that company as well. Taking a look at the performance summary on here, you can see the outlier outshining buy and hold at 64.42%. So that's pretty awesome. So be sure to head over to outlierdeal.com while you can. We got 2 weeks left of this incredible lifetime deal, a basically 99% off for a lifetime license. So get it while you can. So let's take a look at what the internet has to say. Kevin Kiley's talking about Biden's disastrous economic playbook has already been fully implemented by Newsom in California. The result? We're worse than the nation unemployment, wage growth, cost of living and poverty, and crime. Like their crime is outlandish, uncontrolled and outlandish. So that makes unlandish. But we do lead the nation in one thing: U-Haul rentals, people leaving the state. Record job growth, record low unemployment. What is this? Nah, you're wrong. Good grief, you are completely wrong. All facts, all these issues that they got going on there. And this person is clapping, saying that is some hot fire. They want to do America what they've done to cities for decades. Makes no sense whatsoever. Progressive socialist policies fail always. Just like State Farm, they're trying to destroy California one way or another. And people are up and moving and they're heading to Texas. But listen, you've probably seen the bumper stickers by now when she moved here. Don't California my Texas. You come to Texas, assimilate into Texas, make Texas a better place. Don't make Texas the next California. But do click one of these 2 videos that YouTube is showing you right there. The YouTube algorithm actually thinks that you're going to love them. So click that to watch more. I'll see you in the next episode.